How is everybody doing on this fine day, evening, night, morning, whatever it is for you? I'm Anime Dude, and welcome back to some more Steins Gate Linear Bounded Phenogram. When we left off with the door opening. We don't know what lies coming out of that door. It's just Mr. Braun. See, no need to worry. It wasn't even that big of a freaking, what do you call that? Cliffhanger, if you will. The one who called was the manager of the Brown Tube Workshop, Tenoji-san. Wow, it's been so long since I've played this that I forgot that I was Kurisu. But that's pretty bombastic. That's pretty fantastic. Tilting his neck slightly, Tenoji-san furrowed his brow. It seemed he had only witnessed it from within the store. While I wondered which way to go, Nae-chan came out of the store. I stared at the direction that she was pointing. Down the road about 50 meters was a T-junction which split into the direction of Kanta Shrine and the central street. Naturally, I had no idea which way he went. Okabe. Oh man. Leaving him my thanks, I started running towards the streets to pursue Okabe myself. There was no way I could leave him in his current state. Before something irreversible happened, I needed to get to him to explain to me what had happened. Oh man. I can see this ending very well. This is totally not going to end badly. Whatever is going to happen. I had run all over Akihabara to look for Okabe. I went from Kanda Shrine to the main street and ended up coming to an alley behind Daibiru. The sun had almost set. The August sky was dyed in a shade of honey amber. I was out of breath. I wasn't out of shape or anything. It was just that I didn't run this much in a long time. So, I mean, you're kind of out of shape. You're out of shape to be doing this. As I was thirsty, I suddenly noticed a vending machine. Well, that's not going to help. Eat water. You drink water in this situation. I mean, in any situation, you drink water. Water's just, one of the greatest drinks ever made by God himself. That's a fact. I really wanted to drink something fizzy right now, but since they didn't have my favorite, I reluctantly brought a can of coffee. I took a deep breath and looked around. There was no sign of Okabe here either. I was about to say man, but man for sure didn't make water. We know that for a fact. It's been around, forever. Well, my tone sounded like I wanted to abuse him. It came more from a sense of worry than one of anger. Of course, because you like him. I threw the empty can into a recycling bin and continued to look around. Seriously, why did he become so desperate? Maybe something closer, Probably because Okabe had said that to me. When did I start to worry so much about Okabe anyway? Recently I had found him fascinating to observe, but when did it become something more than a mere interest? We'd only met several days ago. A lot of my reservations had disappeared because of him. I had initially thought him to be rude, a criminal, a pervert, so there was nothing to even think about being shy about. I hadn't been aware of myself since I was putting on an act in America. Even when Hashida and Okabe talked about stupid things, it was never painful. It seemed that, I hate to admit it, but I must be in love with Okabe. The turning point was probably when he had decided to go to Aomori together.
お前は俺の助手だ。助手の悩みは俺の悩みに等しい。お前が最高の精神状態で働いてくれるために、俺はいかなる努力もするつもりだ。
This was only a few days? Steins Gate felt like it took place over months. I guess it was just a few days. It wasn't very long, that's for sure. To be honest, those words sounded like a proposal. When I heard it, it Felt like time had stopped.
ちょっとムカつく。
I suspected the Okabe didn't just say that to anyone. Otherwise, of the 8 lab mems, 6, I mean, 5 wouldn't be girls. Oh, because Luca... Oh, that's funny. 5 wouldn't be girls? There's Daru. Out of the 8 lab mems, I'm assuming 9 is Okabe. There's Daru, there's Lukaku. Wait. 6, I mean 5. You mean wouldn't it be guys? There's definitely more girls in the members are Okabe, Daru, Kurisu, Lukaku, Faris, Mariori, that's 6. Shining Finger, Moeka, that's 7. Suzuha, that's 8. That's another girl. And then... Who's the 9th lab mem? I guess we only have 8 lab mems. Right? Is there someone else I'm missing? I don't think so. But... 5 wouldn't be girls? Why would you change it? You mean... I'm assuming that's a translation error. Because it doesn't make any sense for her to change from 6 to 5. She could think Lukaku is a girl. And then be like, oh, wait a second. I mean, 5 wouldn't be guys. Because there's 3 guys. So out of the 8 lab mems, 5 wouldn't be guys. No. Oh, sorry. Sorry. She was... Never mind. Sorry. Okay. I'm just an idiot. I spent way too long on this. She's just saying that there are 5 girls. Okay. Gotcha. Because he said things like that. A girl like me would end up misunderstanding. You probably knew that. That idiot. And yet, even so, I still liked him. Or perhaps it was because of the secretion of dopamine in my hypothalamus, which caused this. Since that day we decided to go to Aomori, I decided to let more of his idiocies aside. And by doing so, even his Shunibyo actions sometimes had meaning to them, and were even appropriate at times. God damn it. This was hard to admit. It was hard to admit. It was hard to admit. I thought he was cool. Without realizing, my own heart had started to forgive him. Imperceptibly, he became a person I could relax with. Actually, now that I had realized my feelings, I might be even more nervous. But it was too late to change. I couldn't change the way that I felt now that I had let him in. Society's mask of a neuroscience researcher of Victor Condré University. I decided to not wear it in front of Okabe. My mind was at ease being myself. I'd never experienced this in my life before. It was the exact comfort I got by writing threads on @channel. However, at the same time, Okabe was being tormented by something. I could no longer proceed like before. I still didn't know what the cause of it was. If he wasn't the same Okabe that I knew, then it would drive me crazy. I felt the bottom of my heart stiffen. I hated that feeling.
一人で抱え込んで悩んでないで話してよ私にもあんたは私の悩みを聞いてくれたじゃない
My thinking was unexpectedly drowned out by the sound of my phone. Was it Okabe? I looked at the screen expectantly, but only Hashida's name was displayed.
もしもしマキセ氏どうしたんだラボに帰ってきたら誰もいないし
I briefly explained the situation to Hashida. I had tried looking alone based on my impulses, but there were limits to what I could do by myself.
オカリンどうしたんわかったこっちでも心当たりを当たってみる
Arigato, Daro.
みんなには何か分かったらマキセ氏に連絡するよう伝えとくを。
分かった。お願い。
It would be great if someone could find some kind of clue, but I closed my phone and prayed that I could find Okabe. I then started running once more through Akihabara. I don't think we're going to be able to find him through running. Can't Daru, like, hack into his phone and track him down or something like that? As I was wandering the streets in search of Okabe, I suddenly noticed how crowded the streets have become.
おいおい、テロ予告で電車止まってるってよ。
Oh, we're at that time.
テロってそんな。待ち合わせに遅れちゃいますよ。
Disturbing. That's what you're worried about? Oh, I'm gonna be terrorism. Darn, I'm gonna be late for a meeting. That's what I'm worried about. Not the terrorism part, but the being late for my meeting. Disturbing words reach my ears. Terrorism? In Japan? Of course the times had changed from the old days, and political unrest was rising along with probability of terrorism occurring. My research institute was also a probable target. I had been forced to attend a lecture about this. However, Japan had a stereotype of being a peaceful country where little to no terrorism occurred. I proceeded to investigate, and indeed, the trains had stopped. The trains that usually arrived like clockwork were nowhere to be seen. I opened my phone and began browsing Ad Channel. It seems this was one of the hot topics that had broken on the news. Because of the announcement of the terrorist attacks, Yamamoto Line, Sobo Line, and Keihin Northeast Line are all shut down. Is any of this true? Yeah, it is. Oars. See this little guy facing the ground? Haha, that's crazy. Good job, Japanese people. This is outrageous. I'm trapped in Akihabara. Was a bomb found or something? Impossible. Oh, no. Japan is a terrorist attack, and now? How will they engage it? A terrorist attack at a time like this? What's the meaning of it? Over at Shinjuku, passengers were evacuated and alighted. The staff on site were moving people around. Up, main hope. Net a 2000 Summer Olympic Games Women's Bakery Selection Fry. Oh, that's just one of the other topics. Okay. An image of the station staff stopping trains and customers have been posted on that channel. Some time had passed since the commotion started. There were too many people in front of Akihabara Station, so it would also be hard to cross the other side of the station on foot. What should I do? With this going on, it would be harder to search for Okabe. Wait, what if Okabe was caught up in some kind of terrorist plot? Several possibilities were bubbling in my brain, whirling around and disappearing. Anxiety, optimism, pessimism, fear, impatience, uneasiness. I was itching to do something, but I couldn't decide what the right thing to do was. Moving carelessly would be fatal. What should I do? I couldn't come to a conclusion at all. Suddenly my phone begins to vibrate. I guess we technically could go back in time, see if that would work. Makise Kurisu. Nice to meet you. This is Faris Nyanya. Darenya told me your address. I found Okabe now. But he's acting weird. I would like to quickly meet you somewhere. Where is a good place for you? Faris-san. If I remember correctly, she was Lab Mem 007? What a relief. It seems Okabe was found. However, I still worried that he was acting strange. I didn't know exactly what happened. Suddenly, an unpleasant thought slid down my spine. What? Oh, that was her reply. I was like, why is it changing? I was very creeped out for a second there. What does it say? Sent. Nice to meet you. I'm Makise. First, it would be great if you could take Okabe to the lab. I'll also go there shortly. Alright, sounds like a good plan to me. Ah, there's so many phones! We're putting one phone down after another! So I reply and I took a deep breath. How do I get out of here? Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a glitch. Alright, let's see if we can save and then restart. There we go, that worked. Oh, cool, awesome. I sent a reply and I took a deep breath. The anxiety felt like it would crush my chest.
Okabe. どうしちゃったのよ。
While dragging my feet behind me, I turned back the way I had come and headed for the lab. Outside the lab, I saw Okabe. Standing beside him was a petite maid along with an elderly butler. The petite girl wearing the maid outfit was probably Faris. Leaving the butler aside, she looked exactly like a character out of an anime or manga. Okabe wore a haggard look on his face, and it seemed like he almost didn't have the strength to keep standing on his own. Faris and the butler were lending him their shoulders to support him. What could happen? What could have happened to him? Got in a fight? Maybe he tripped or something? I couldn't bear it and immediately rushed over.
ええ、ありがとう、フェイリスさん。岡部を見つけてくれて。
I had previously heard from Hashida that Faris Nyanyan was the champion of some game named Rhinet Access Battlers.
ダルニャンから連絡があって、フェイリスもいても立ってもいられなかったから、詳しい事情はわからないけど、とにかく探さなきゃと思って。でも、さっきからダルニャンには連絡が取れないの。
Hashida? Maybe still out searching for Okabe. But let's leave that for now.
岡部は
I mean, I guess, but what if Daru's in trouble? We don't just... Sure, whatever. I know you care more about Okabe. I know you're very worried about him. We finally get to see him.
今は少し落ち着いてるよ。でも UPX の立教のところで見つけたときは本当に死んじゃうんじゃないかってくらいだったの。
I don't remember this happening. Even now, his face was definitely pale. To think that it had been worse made my heart ache. I had to find out what Okabe was thinking and how he was feeling.
一体何が
However, Okabe wasn't looking at anything. He didn't even try to look at me.
とりあえずここでこうしていてもなんだし、一旦ラボに上がりましょう。
With the help of the butler, we brought Okabe up and entered the lab. What? The moment we turned on the lights, I was immediately shocked. It better not be a whole bunch of men with guns. It is! No, it better not be. There's a trail of blood on the floor. I have a feeling somebody we know who dies in this game is dead right now. Faris raised her voice in surprise, but the one who reacted the most violently was Okabe. His scream resounded. He crouched where he was and began sobbing while calling out Mayuri's name. We became stiff. We didn't know what to do in this situation. Meanwhile, the only one who was calm was the butler. He began to scan the room with his eyes.
失礼。
Noticing us panicking, he approached the trail of blood and confirmed the
どうや
situation.
らお亡くなりになった方はいないようです。この出血量ですと命に別状はないでしょう。
After he said so in a subdued tone, Okabe suddenly approached the butler and clung to him.
命に別状ない。無事なのか、マユリは。それに誰も。
His expression was ghastly. Okabe seemed to think this blood belonged to Mayuri and Hashida. He also seemed absolutely convinced of
少
it.
なくともここで殺されたということはないでしょう。血の跡からして銃か何かで撃たれはしたようですが、揉み合った痕跡はございますが、立ったままのようですから、おそらくは意識のあるまま力ずくで連れ去られたのではないかと。
Whoa, calm down, Batman. What's happening here? Why are you so like aware of this situation that happened?
連れ去られた。セルフ。ラウンダーか。
Yep. Tears were coming from his eyes. The desperate look on his face, Okabe collapsed. At the moment, I grabbed Okabe's arm as he fell. No matter how hard I tried to remain calm, I couldn't. Two of my friends had disappeared and had left only bloodstains behind.
おそらくだが、二人はセルンのラウンダーに連れ去
セルンってなんで？
タイムリープマシンだ。奴らは俺たちの存在に感づいていた。
It was a heart-stopping shock. CERN, the European Research Institute, the world's largest particle physics research institute? Same time, they'd secretly carried out time machine research for the past 40 years while hiding from the world. While performing secret time machine experiments, they had to sacrifice many human experimental subjects in order to achieve their goal.
タイムリープマシンがあるからってなんでセルンがマユリや橋田をさらうのよ。大体研究機関がどうやってこんなことをするっていうの？
セルンにはラウンダーと呼ばれる実行部隊があったんだ。
They're crazy,
連中はタイムマシンを独占するため宴会をやっていた俺たちを襲撃した。そしてここでマユリを殺したんだ。
でもさっき執事さんが
Yeah, but she always dies. Today. This is always where Maori stops living. I looked towards the butler, who claimed that they probably weren't dead. The butler shook his head with a suspicious expression. It appears he was confident with his own conclusions. Felt like he was questioning what Okabe was saying. He was questioning. And another answer was revealed by what Okabe said next.
だから俺は過去を変えるために飛んだんだ。あのタイムリープマシンで。
じゃあそれじゃああんた。
俺は時間を超えた。
For a moment, my mind went blank. After proving that human experimentation was necessary, we had decided to give up on using the time leap machine. The theory had been perfected, but without verification, no theory could be confirmed as accurate. That's why when we decided to give up experimenting, I felt relieved but disappointed at the same time. But what Okabe had just said had supported the validity of the time leap machine. I wasn't happy, actually. It felt like a lie. For researchers, when one's own theory is proven to be correct, it's supposed to be a joyous moment. At that moment, I had forgotten everything and just tried to ask Okabe more questions. But my determination was drowned out by Okabe's heartbroken cries.
マユリを救うためにだ。
Save Mayuri.
なのにどうして救えない。なぜだ。なぜマユリは必ず死ぬんだ。
Mayuri always died. I shuddered at the cruelty of those words.
ちょっと待ってよ。もしそれが本当ならどうしてまず警察に行かなかったのよ。
言ったが信じてもらえなかった。こんな荒唐無稽なこと信じてもらえるわけがないだろう。それにマユリが警官に殺されたこともあった。空前か事故か、それとも警官にもラウンダーがいるのか、細かいことは俺にはわからない。だがどうやってもマユリは殺されたんだ。俺は誰にも頼れず、誰にも話せず、ただ繰り返すばかりでマユリを救えなかった。
Okabe screamed as if he were coughing up blood, having to watch Mayuri die over and over again. Time leaping over and over again. It was like living a hell which repeated itself in an infinite loop. No matter how many times he tried, Mayuri would end up dying between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. To be more precise, there was just one time when Mayuri died later than usual. The time Mayuri was turned into a jellyman after 8 p.m. I remember that. That was... Oh, man, dude. This time period in the game was like... Oh, it was so sad. It sucked. Oh, every time Mayuri, we just, like, couldn't save her. Oh, man. This is bringing back some memories. I looked at the clock. It's already past 8 p.m. If what Okabe was saying was true, then Mayuri was already dead. Okabe raised his voice. As if he had noticed my gaze, he also ended up looking at the clock. He realized that the time was already past 8 p.m. Damn it! Before I could cover up my mistake, he had already opened his eyes and mouth widely. In despair. I'd never heard so much grief until now. I probably wouldn't ever hear anything worse than this in my entire life either. It was that horrible. Receiving the shock, Okabe became confused, scratching his head, and with something in his arm, the butler approached him quietly. The next moment, Okabe slumped over with a light moan. It seemed that he had been knocked out.
失礼いたしました。このままでは岡部様の心の健康にも害が出ますので。
So you just knocked him out?
ありがとう、黒木。今は京馬も眠らせてあげた方がいいと思う。だってこんな辛すぎるよ。
Farice's eyes were also covered in tears. Honestly, I still don't completely believe everything Okabe had said. However, looking at Okabe's state, it was inevitably true. I thought I should believe him. In that
いずれ
case,
にせよ、こうしてはいられない。なんとかしないと。
CERN, the Rounders, the Committee of 300, these nightmares which Okabe had always talked about in his Chunibyo delusions, they all seemed true as he lay in front of us in despair.
でもどうするの？私、ちっとも思考が追いつけなくて。
考えなきゃ。
Mayuri Nashida's face floated in my mind. In front of my eyes was Okabe's unconscious body. It was impossible for me to just leave him alone. Just as Okabe couldn't leave me when I was worried about Papa. So what are we gonna do? Time
お
leap?
嬢様、少々よろしいでしょうか。
I think it'd be really cool if, like, Kuri's time leaped a whole bunch of times and, like, then figured out how to do it, and Okabe was like, okay, but I have to be the one, you know. And, because that's what it was, like, in the main game. Like, pretty much what happened. They, in some form or manner, they figured out that they were stuck in convergence, and they had to somehow get out of it. And in order to do that, they had to go way back. Way back to when, before Kuri's died, and made it look like Kuri's died, but really she didn't. And so Okabe saw Kuri's die, so all this had to happen, but she didn't really die. And so it seemed like all was normal, but it wasn't. It wasn't the same, but it was enough to, you know, like, oh, that was crazy. I remember that. Good times.
黒木、何かいいアイデアがあるの？
We were stood thinking about what to do with this unreal situation that was in front of our eyes. The butler, who was apparently named Kuroki, spoke up.
はい。私も完全に事態が飲み込めているわけではありませんが、まず。
パパに？
Farice's father. I wondered if the only people we could rely on in the situation was the police. But Okabe had said that CERN influenced the police. Then who could we rely on? Anyway, the person we would end up relying on was probably going to be an adult. So I was a little reluctant about this. That was because I had always done things on my own. But we were running out of options. Even though I was working as a member of society at a lab in the United States, I still wasn't officially an adult yet. While I had working experience, I hadn't ever learned to deal with a situation like this before. I don't think anyone has, ever. Because the situation has never happened before, and probably will never happen. So at a time like this, all I could do was think to call the police. To be honest, there wasn't any point in turning to the police. What Okabe had said about the police being infiltrated, I couldn't ignore what he had said in his desperation. Above all, if they had the means to carry out a terrorist plot and paralyze the public transport system, then we didn't have much time to think anyway. Yeah, they're probably doing all they can right now anyways. It's not like we can just call and be like, hey, guys, I know you're dealing with that terrorist situation, but do you guys want to come and help with my dead friend? For a moment, Freddy's had a look of hesitation on her face, but the next moment it changed to
とにかく
determination.
ここにいるのは良くないと思う。私の自宅に行きましょう。
あなたの家に移動するの？
Something about what she said bothered me. The lab was the only place we could use the time leap machine. If we left the lab, it would be hard to defend the time leap machine. If we believed what Okabe had said, then it was strange that the time leap machine hadn't been taken already. And in response to my question, Kuroki answered on Freddy's behalf.
お嬢様の言う通りです。ここは再度の襲撃の可能性があります。一旦移動なさった方がご賢明かと。ご安心ください。我々が離れましたら、入れ替わりにここを見張る者を配置いたします。
Who? Freddy's nodded confidently at Kuroki's words. It seemed that she was confident that he could be relied on. Who the hell were these people? Maybe they were part of some kind of organization. It felt very suspicious. But I didn't have anyone else to rely on. Above all, I couldn't let Okabe remain in a dangerous place. While looking over Okabe, who remained unconscious, I made up my mind. As we started to move, I immediately prayed for the safety of Mayori and Hashida, who were missing. They'll be fine. All's well that ends well, and it all ends well, so we're good. We know that. It's good. Akihabara Times Tower, the tallest apartment complex in Akihabara. From the higher floors, you can see all the way to Tokyo Tower at Mount Fuji. Wow, that's pretty good. I'd like to go up there. The top floor of the apartment was a stone's throw from Akihabara Station and was Fadis' home. A luxury apartment with its own concierge. Indeed, this place was much safer than the lab. Now in this situation, the best place in Akiba for Okabe to get some rest would be here. Along the way, Fadis had already let her father know about the situation, so they could make the arrangements. Why don't we take the time leap machine with us? I mean, it's just a microwave. It's pretty portable. It was decided that the fine details would be explained later. Like, I get that he's like sending like people to like protect it at the lab, but why don't we just bring it? Why don't we just take it here and then have people defend this place? You could have probably a lot better defense here. I don't know. I guess Dreamyho was Fadis' real name. Wait. Isn't her dad dead? Fadis' father reached out to firmly hug his daughter. So this is a timeline where he's alive. So is this a timeline like right before we fix? This is a timeline. No, because she just called Lukaku a guy. So, what is this timeline? The only timeline where Fadis' father is alive is when we're going, when we're doing Fadis' route, right? I'm pretty sure. Man, I can't remember. It was strange to see the affection like this in Japan. It made my own heart ache a little. What does that mean? Oh, like, do people not do that in Japan? Or is you saying that doesn't happen in America? Even though I was supposed to know how they felt. At the very least, I was able to identify those emotions. Now wasn't the time for that. Oh, because she never had the love from her dad? Is that what she's saying? Yeah, I think so. We laid Okabe on a bed. According to Kuroki, the family doctor would come by later to give Okabe a sedative. So I felt a little relieved. Firstly, I needed to greet Fadis' father back in the living room. Fadis' father, who had finished hugging his daughter, held out his hand with a gentle smile when he noticed me.
君がルミホの友人だね。秋葉ルミホの父、秋葉幸隆です。どうぞよろしく。
We naturally shook hands. Perhaps it was because I had lived in the States, and that greeting someone without shaking hands was strange for me. I mean, he held out his hand. What else are we supposed to do? Not shake hands? Is he just holding out his hand for nothing?
クリスです。
マキセ・クリスさん。
はい。 そうですが。
Yukitaka tilted his head slightly. As if observing some strange animal, he started looking at my face. What if he was a bit of a pervy daddy? That's the way we're wording that? Pervy daddy. That's how I'm sure Makise would say that. Even for someone who was trying to help his daughter, he seemed too interested.
君のお父さんは牧瀬正一という名前かな。
どうしてパパの名前を。
やっぱりそうなんだね。そうか、あのクリスチャンか。すごい偶然だな。こんなに立派になって。
パパ、牧瀬さんのこと知ってるの？
僕と牧瀬正一は大学時代の友人でね。
Oh, wow.
しかも一時期は彼の研究に資金を提供していたこともあるんだ。僕がスポンサーで、正一が実際に研究で成果を出す。アドバイザーとして僕ら二人の師匠ともいえる教授がついてくれてね。
Man, too bad I'm way smarter than my dad. Now that you mention it, I remember hearing a similar story when I was a child. The reason our family had moved to Aomori. At the time, we had lived in Tokyo. Papa had been researching on his own without any affiliations. And suddenly, the reason why we moved back to Papa's hometown was because his source of funding, which had relied on, had stopped. In that case, this was the person.
僕らが大学を卒業してもその座組はしばらく続いたんだ。正一は相対性理論超越委員会と呼んでいたよ。
This was the first time I had heard of this. What was it that Shinibyo
クリスちゃ
naming?
ん、君はよく僕らの家にも正一に連れられて遊びに来たことがあるんだよ。当時はお茶の水の方に家があってね。そこはうちの会社が傾きかけた時に売却したんだが、庭まであったんだ。そこで君とルミホは一緒に遊んでいたよ。
Really? Whoa. So we knew each other from childhood. Did we talk about that in the game? That sounds familiar, but I highly doubt it.
ということは、私と牧瀬さんは幼馴染？
Look at that. We're childhood friends. Buddies and I began staring at each other in awe. I guess we got a date now, huh? So many things had happened today that our senses were probably going to short circuit at any
と
moment.
いうか、黒木もそのことは覚えているはずだろう。気づかなかったのかい？
I don't think this is good to be dropping all this on us. This isn't much, really, but it's still like something, and we've just been through a traumatic experience, so maybe we should save this for like tomorrow or something. I mean,
気づいておりましたが、それよりも岡部様のことを優先いたしました。
oh wow, aren't you so great, Kudoki? Wow, you're so smart and knowledgeable. Man, Kudoki trying to act all cool in front of Papa. What a loser. I mean, I want to hear about this, but you know, for their sake.
そうか、ありがとう。娘の友人を介抱してくれて。さて、では本題に入ろう。
はい。
That's right. For now, Papa and my surprising connection to Faris wasn't really important. The utmost priority was
すみま
Okabe.
せん。急に頼ってしまって。
いや、頼ってもらってよかったようだよ。
Why? His tone had changed from a nostalgic one to one that seemed very sharp in an instant. More than a father, his face seemed to be one of a shrewd businessman. The glint in his eye seemed as sharp as a knife, just like a hawk who wouldn't let his guard down.
ルミホから連絡をもらった時は半信半疑だったけどね。念のためにお世話になっている人にお願いしたんだよ。そしたらね。
I don't like this.
お世話になっている人。
ああ、秋葉原で行われるお祭り、神田明神の神田祭りとかで夜店を出してくれる敵屋さん。びっくりしたよ、正直ね。確かに連絡があった通り、警察や鉄道会社に干渉があったらしい。元締さんにも一応断りがあったそうでね。
I had been surprised countless times today. I was once again surprised. It wasn't like I hadn't believed what Okabe had said, but the fact that CERN could influence even the police was Truly horrifying.
君たちが戻ってくるまでの間に色々と調べてみたら、そもそもこの秋葉原一帯を封鎖して出入りにも制限をかけてるみたいだ。
What?
見た目はそうじゃないけれど、まあ警察のやる検問と同じだね。多分それで秋葉原から出ようとするクリスちゃんや岡部君を捕捉しようとしたんだろう。
Whoa. I was appalled. An organization that could do that much was actually targeting us? In particular, the 3 people who were part of the core development team, Hashida, Okabe, and myself, were their highest priority. When I thought about it like this, I became even more worried for Mayuri and Hashida's safety. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They killed Mayuri because they thought she was useless, and then they... Oh yeah! That's what I forgot. I was like, why did they take Daru? But that was their main priority, taking Daru, Kurisu, and Okabe. It wasn't about killing Mayuri. It just happened to be convergent that she would always die. Huh. I forgot all about that.
君たちは一体何に巻き込まれた？
Nothing really, dude. Just, we're just chilling. We're just some high school students.
具体的に詳しい話を聞かせてほしい。一体この秋葉原の街で今何が起こっているのかを見き。
I could hear just a touch of anger in his voice. He wasn't angry at us. It was like he was angry at those who had disturbed the town that he lived in, promoted, and developed. His anger was like a parent who was protecting its home, something that was natural for anyone living in Akihabara.
なるほど。
I think that's where we're ending this episode. It's getting intense. Man, I really hope we don't die. That would really suck. Except we can't die yet. So I mean, we're pretty good. We're pretty good for a little while. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that the uploads have been so sparse lately. It's just a lot. Like, there's so much school and work now, and and obviously homework and everything. Just been like caught up in. I'll try my best to be more consistent. Obviously, one video a week isn't that great. I'll definitely try to do more. I'm sorry, and I'm definitely shooting for 1 stream a week. But we'll see how that turns out. Thank you guys for sticking with me and watching this series. Hope you guys are enjoying, even though it's kind of sparse. I mean, there's not much I can do about it right now, just because of how much time I have, or how much time I don't have, really. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, give it a like, tell your friends about it, subscribe, help the channel grow, and maybe someday I won't have to worry about a job, so we can focus more on the channel and whatnot. We'll see. Well, until then, I'll see you guys next time.